Hi guys, you're welcome once again to Faith's Empire. You are welcome. To my returning subscribers, God bless you. To those who are yet to subscribe, you are welcome. Today we are making a gown with a wrap effect at the upper side of it. So I believe you will love this gown. You will love this video. This video is beginner friendly and you will surely love it at the end. So let's do it together. Let's go. Not wasting much of our time. Let me tell us the measurements I use in folding this fabric. The full length of the gown is 45 and the half length of the person is 15. So I minused that 15 from that 45 and I got 30. So that 30, since it's the down part of it is a flay, since the down part of it is a flay, I will have to measure a round shape. I will have to cut or measure a round shape, something like a round shape here for us to get that flay effect. So what I did was to divide her waist of 38 into 2. So dividing her waist of 38 into 2 gave us 19. And that 19, let us say plus 1 inch, making it 20, is what we are going to have here. So what are we going to use to get that 20? I used 12.5 inches. Please watch closely to what I'm doing. This is 12.5. I use 12.5 inches. Just watch what I'm doing. I placed it here and I marked. So I'm going to mark this 12.5 round to get to this point. So 12.5, 12.5, 12.5. Wow, I'm using white chalk and it's not really showing on this fabric, but just listen to me attentively, you will understand what I'm doing here. So I've connected it. So let's measure. So as you can see, this is 20. So the actual measurement you're looking for is 19. So the extra 1 inch is perfect. You will use it for seam allowance. But if after measuring you have something like 19.5, it's also good. It's also okay. 1 inch is okay, half inch is okay for seam allowance. So now, going back to what I was explaining. So the 30 inches of the down part, remember we minused her half length from her full length, giving us 30 inches. So that 30 inches plus this 12.5 is now 42.5 or 43. If we have 42.5 or 43 inches, we are good to go. So look at where the fabric stops. Let me bring the camera to where. So this is where the folding stops. So the other part of the material is the excess, is the extra part of it. This is where my folding stopped. So this was how I was able to get this measurement. The down part of our full gown is 30 inches. That's 45 minus 15. You get 30. That 30 plus what we are going to use to determine the her waist divided by 2. That was how I got this length. So while cutting, you can do it like this in order not to waste material, or in order not to have a short fabric, for it not to be less than the measurement. Thank you. So let's continue. So from this point where we stopped, we are going to be measuring that 30 inches round. 30 inches plus 1 inch allowance, that's 31 inches. So we are going to be measuring 31 inches from this point where the 12 and a half stopped. So we are going to be measuring 31 inches round to get the round shape. So guys, I've marked round the base of the hem, or the base of the dress. Yes. So if you noticed, you will see that something changed. Something changed because I wanted this design to be on the, as in to reflect a little bit on the down part of the dress. You know, it's a circle dress, so I want this design, I want it to be on the down part of it. So I had to swap. You know, I was using this side before, but now I have to come over to this place to measure the waist of the dress so that this design will be on the down part of it. So that was the change that happened. So I'll go ahead and cut it out, and I'll show us what it looks like. I'm using a tailor's chalk, and it's not really showing on this fabric, so we are not seeing it very well. I believe we're not seeing what I drew very well. So I'm going to cut it out, and if I cut it, I will show us what it looks like. So guys, look at what we have. You see, this is the flare part of the gown. So now we're going to cut the upside of the gown now. So guys, for the upper part of this dress, I've cut out this is, we have about 16.5 inch, and it's okay to go with. Remember, the half length is 15, so we'll be using the rest for seam allowance and for the joining, for joining here and here. So, and I've gone ahead to draft the armhole, the shoulder slant. Her shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5, plus half-inch seam allowance, that's 8. So we have 8 here. So, and I've gone ahead to measure 3 by 3 for the neck. Understand? For the neck, but I'm not going to cut this out. I'm not going to cut it out, but I just had to put it here for security purpose or for whatever. So this is 3.5 by 3.5. So, and I've slanted the shoulder by half an inch. So, and I've marked the bust. Her bust is 39 divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. We have 11.5, and her waist is 36 divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. We have 11. So with this, because this is an overlap dress. The upper part of it is an overlap dress. So we'll be needing two of these. Let me cut it out. And if I cut it out, we'll be needing two of it. But before I cut the other one, I will use this one to get that overlap effect. I will use this one to cut that overlap. After cutting the overlap with this one, then I will use it to cut the second one. That's two front and one back. So I'm going to notch here. This is to show that this is where the 3.5 inch is. So this is to show that from here to here is 3.5 inch. So, and this is also 3.5 inch from here to here. So I'm going to also give it a mark here for me to know the center of this dress. So I'm going to open it. Have you seen what we have? So from here, from one part of this, remember I've opened it up, I'm going to measure 3.5 inch upwards. Or sorry, let me do 4 inches. I don't want it to open much. From here, I came up by 4 inches. Oh, this chalk is not really showing well. 4 inches. So coming to this place here, this particular place is the center of this dress, and the part I notched, this is the 3.5. Look at it here, the 3.5. So from this part where I marked 4 inches, I'm just going to give it a slant. Our chalk is not doing us well, oh. But don't worry, if I cut it out, you will see what we have. But just watch closely to what I'm doing. So by the time I cut it out, you will understand very well what I just did here. So I slanted it from where I marked the 3 inches. I marked 3 inches. So this is where the 3 inches is. So I'm slanting it down to the part where I marked this 4 inch. So here is the center of this dress. So let's measure and see. So from here I have about 5 inches. That's for the neck. So if it's okay by you, yes, this is where I marked the center. So from there I have 5 inches. If it's okay for you, you go with it. If it's not okay for you, you slant it more from here. But don't move away from that notch. Just make sure you maintain that notch. Then slant it from there. You come down a bit. That's if you're not okay with what you had at first. You can come down a bit. So now we have 6 inches. So I'm okay with 6 inches. You understand? From here. So now the neck is now 6 inches. So I'm okay with it. So I'm going to cut it off. This is a very detailed gown. So as you can see, this is now what we have. All right, this is what we have. This is the front part of it. So I'm going to cut another piece of this particular shape. But remember, while cutting it, I will have to face this right side of the fabric on the right side of the other fabric. That's the right side facing right side to cut this out. If not, remember, this is not a lining that doesn't have front and back, but this fabric, this is the front, this is the back. So if you place it anyhow, it might come out to be a waste material. But if I want to cut it now, I'm going to face this right side of the material on the right side of the other fabric, then cut it out. Then by the time I'm done, I'll show us what we have. So guys, I'm done cutting it. Look at the way I'm opening it. Right side facing right side. That was how I cut it. So opening it. So have you seen that wrap effect? Oh my god, this is beautiful. Have you seen that wrap effect? This is the wrap effect. So guys, this is it for the front. So you're not going to cut the back. The back is just with your normal measurement. If you're going to attach zip at the back, that's where you put your zip allowance. But for this dress, I'm not going to put zip at the back. The zip will be by the side. I'm going to put the zip for this cloth at the side of it, not at the back. So I'm going to cut out the back without zip allowance. So guys, this is the back part of it. This is the back of the dress. This is of I came down by 1 inch for the back. So this is just the back parts of it, the back side of the cloth without zip allowance. So now let's cut the hand, and I've measured the armhole and I got 10 inches. So I'm going to use it 10 inches. So I'm going to use it to cut the hand. So guys, for the hand, like I said earlier, I will be explaining to us after doing the markings. So this is the hand, the flay hand. So that 10 inches that I measured at the armhole of that dress is what we'll be having here after marking it. So you see 10 inches. So I used 6 inches round. I marked 6 inches from this part. Sorry, let me bring it to where we're going to. I marked 6 inches from this part. 6 inches round to get this, to get 10. So, and from here to this part, that's the length of the sleeve, is 10 inches, but here I have 10.5 inches. That's half inch for joining allowance. So I did something here. Whenever I don't have much material, I always do this to get what I want. You know, if I measure this 10.5 from here to this part of the sleeve, this the armhole, the armpit part of the length will be longer than the shoulder part. So what I do is, here is 10.5. Then as I'm going forward, I'll be reducing from this side. So let me show us from here. I have 10.5 here. Then coming to this place, I have 10. Then here, I have 9 and a half. Here, I have 9. And here, I have 8 inches. So you see, as I go, I reduce the length so that after sewing it, this part that will be at the armpit part will not be too much longer than this part that will be on the shoulder. So let's cut it out. Yes, if after measuring here you still have like 9.5 inches, is also okay, because you know that we are going to join the shoulder. So after joining the shoulder, half inch must have gone out. So if you have 9.5 here, is okay. If you have 10 inches, fine, is okay. But always notch the center. So to be on the surface, so I'm going to use this to cut the second sleeve. So guys, that's all. Gown will come out beautiful. So guys, thank you for watching with me to the end of this video. I believe you've learned a lot today. We really learned a lot today. So please subscribe. It is very, very important. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need it. I need it. I need it. Please subscribe. Like my video so that other people will get to know about my video. Then share to your loved ones. Share to that person you know that is interested in learning this. You might have a friend, a family member who is into sewing. Share to them in the comment section. Tell me however you feel, whatever. Just free. Subscription is free. Thank you.